Thanks again for watching WISD TV. My name is Dale Caffey with more of what's making news at Waco ISD. I'm proud to be on the campus of Alta Vista Elementary in the third grade classroom of Miss Jo Spark. And Jo had a great thing happen to her in November of 2012 in that she got to go to Prague, Czechoslovakia. And we're going to talk to her about her trip and what got her there and what got her to Waco ISD. So we'll talk about that too. First of all, congratulations on your trip. It's my understanding that you actually had the roots of all of this start at Moody ISD where you taught last year. Talk about what eventually became a trip overseas.
Well, we participated in Partners in Learning Innovative Teachers Forum and the U.S. Forum, with contributing a project that our technology teacher at Moody and I had done with our third grade class. The program actually involves a project that our kids did that involved using technology to promote a cause or a learning experience that they were participating in. Our kids actually did a program called Cans for the Plan that involved them recycling cans to raise money to buy technology for their class and for the school. It actually was multidisciplinary, involved every curriculum aspect, math, science, social studies with learning the rights and responsibilities of a citizen in a community, and writing. It really encompassed everything that we were doing in third grade.
And it was about using some Microsoft tools. And we need to mention the name Microsoft because that's sort of who runs all of this contest.
Microsoft sponsors this program through their Partners in Learning. They have a program that is a multi-million-dollar program that supports teachers, gives them tools and content to work with in their classroom to enable their kids to use 21st century skills in their learning experiences. It really is it's a worldwide community of teachers. I have friends that I can email around the world to give me information about projects that I might be doing in my classroom. Mm-hmm. This year I actually have a young man who is doing a project for GT on how third graders around the world are trying to save our environment. And through my connections that I made at the Global Forum, there were many resources that he has to call on. Kids from South America, from India, from all over the U.S., from Canada, mm-hmm. And we are looking forward to either Skyping with them or emailing them and getting the information he's going to need for that.
Now, it sounds to me like you're the kind of teacher who loves to integrate technology into a classroom. Because at your Moody class, you talked about using Excel and Microsoft Word and all of those Microsoft programs throughout the course of this recycling initiative that your students came up with. So talk about how you like to provide technology and use technology in your teaching here at Alta Vista.
Well, you know, you just can't throw technology at kids and expect it to be a worthwhile learning experience for them. It has to be integrated into the lessons so that it is a seamless part of what they're doing. For instance, today we did a lesson on summarizing, and the kids went online to a children's site that does current events that are appropriate for third grade kids. Mm-hmm. And they were able to find content that was relevant to what they're interested in and be able to summarize what they read. And they were so interested, they just kept reading article after article. It really is a fortunate thing for them to have access to technology like they do in WISD. To be able to put an iPad in the hands of a third grader and say, I need you to look this up, their eyes light up and they're so interested because it's the way they live. It's what they do in their lives at home. They play video games, they get on their mom's phones, they have computers at home. And so for us to use it in the classroom is just a natural extension of that.
You had to obviously get past several stages in order to go to the World Conference.
Right.
So talk about that, beginning with, I guess, with stage one, and that would be simply having something to enter in the contest. And you were urged by two very special people to do that.
Right. I have two daughters who work for Microsoft. One is the general manager for the Global Forum for Microsoft Partners in Learning. And for years she's been encouraging me to do this, and every time I think of a project I'd say, no, that's probably not good enough. And then I think of another project and I'd say, no, that's probably not good enough to enter. We were doing the projects, but they just weren't good enough to enter, I didn't think. And my teaching partner in Moody was doing the same thing. And then when the kids came up with this, and this was actually student-developed project in problem solving, for something that they wanted on their campus, we just looked at each other and we said, this is it. And it was their idea, it was their innovation, it was their skills that got us where we got to go. We got to enjoy all the fruits of their work. But what happened was they have regional forums where teachers who they believe use innovative technology in their classrooms or innovative lessons that integrate technology can apply. It is a simple application process where you actually go online and there are very specific questions that you have very short answers that you can give. So you have to really know how to summarize and get the hot spots of your project in there. They are actually judged by people who are not in Microsoft, that are educators, consultants in the education field, deans of schools, congressmen and women. I have met wonderful people from all over the world who are so interested in educating kids and getting tools into the hands of students that will really help them be prepared for what they'll need in the workplace when they get out of school.
You got to go to Prague, Czechoslovakia. Talk about that city and simply getting to go to a place that obviously I don't think you've ever been before.
No, I hadn't, and it would not have been a place I would have chosen to go. It was actually planned for Athens when we entered. We thought if we won we would be going to Athens, Greece. Microsoft made the decision in the middle of the summer, actually while we were at the U.S. Forum, that they were going to change it to Prague, Czech Republic. So it was announced at the U.S. Forum that that's where we would be going if we were lucky enough to win. When we were winners at the U.S. Forum, we were so excited to be going to Prague, but I didn't know anything about the city itself. So I knew that I would be going during the school year, and I wanted my students to be involved as much as possible in learning about this area and all of the culture and traditions of that country. So I started studying about it and found wonderful literature that we could share in the classroom. And it was like a fairy tale. It is a beautiful city, and it's called the City of Spires. It has, all the buildings are just absolutely gorgeous and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. We ate in a place that I really believe must have been there in the Middle Ages because the wood that the benches that we were sitting on was fossilized wood.
Wow.
But the people are warm and inviting and hospitable, and Microsoft just rolled out the red carpet for us. We actually got to have the gala in the Prague Castle. And when we walked in, they had the red carpet rolled out for us, and there were trumpeters at the top of the stairs. And we were told by some officials there that not everyone gets to come inside the Prague Castle, that the last person who had been there was Barack Obama as the head of state of the United States for a state dinner. So we were just they treated us like royalty. And it is actually the official residence of the head of the government of the Czech Republic.
Good.
It was beautiful weather, cold, but it didn't snow until the last day. And we got to tour. All the streets are cobblestone, and it really was like being in a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale city. If you ever get a chance to go there, you should.
And I understand that you even put more technology into action when you were over there because you communicated back here to your class with Skype. Is that correct?
Yes,
Talk
we did.
about that.
Well, I wanted my students to be as much a part of this as they could be. And I wanted them to see what it was like in another country a long way away. So Mrs. Collins, who was my partner in this project, and I did Where in the World Are Mrs. Spark and Mrs. Collins. So every day we taped a video to send back here. We posted them on the website, and the kids could go there every day and see what we had done the day before. And in those videos, we posed questions to them. Some of our kids had never been on an airplane. They had never seen a passport. They had never really been to an airport. So we filmed everything that we did and sent them little bits and pieces. And we posed questions to them like, if it's 100 miles from Waco to Dallas, and however many miles it was to London and then to Prague, what will be the total of our round trip from Waco to Prague and back? And they, the first one with the answer, we brought a little prize back for the kids. So every day they would rush to see the video and find out what our answers were. We also did a lesson in comparing U.S. money to the crowns in the Czech Republic and asked them to make the correspondence of how much money they would need if they wanted to buy something, and they had to figure that out. So it was really fun, and it was fun for us to share with them. And then one afternoon we Skyped with our class, and there's such a time difference, so we had to really work that out. Yeah. But Mrs. Morgan, our instructional specialist here, helped set that up for us, and the kids were so excited, and so was I. I really missed them. And I sat in the lobby of the hotel and thought, oh my goodness, I didn't know I'd miss them this much, but I did.
Wonderful. Well, having now been a part of this contest and won and got to see another place in the world, you probably are wanting to encourage some other teachers here at Waco ISD to do what you did, because you see some potential and a lot of things going on in the classrooms here around Waco ISD, here at Alta Vista, and around our campuses, integrating technology in the classroom. Is this something you would encourage other teachers to pursue?
Oh, absolutely, for many reasons. Winning is wonderful, and going on those trips is it's unbelievable. Teachers just don't get to do things like that all the time, but the really wonderful thing is the community of teachers that I have met from all over the world. And we actually have a Facebook page where we check in on a daily basis, and people who have projects and need help can get it from that page. Also, because of the resources available to us through Microsoft. But I have seen some really terrific things going on in WISD that already meet the criteria for what they would need to do to enter this contest. And I would be happy to mentor anyone who wanted to do that and encourage them to do it. They will have, I believe, 2 deadlines. One will come up in the early spring, and then one at the end of May, usually. And they haven't announced the dates yet. But anybody can join Partners in Learning. It's absolutely free, and you just go to their website and join, and so you get all of the information. They don't bug you with a gazillion emails, and it doesn't cost anything, and you have availability of all the resources that they have. A lot of free software. You can even get a Connects game for your classroom. Microsoft will send it to you. You can use it for a couple of weeks with all of the lessons that come with it, and then they'll have it sent back to them. So there are many things that teachers could benefit from by just joining this network. And I, of course, would encourage anybody who wanted to do this to do it. It was an experience of a lifetime.
No doubt about it. Joe Spark, congratulations on your
Thank
trip
you.
to Prague. And I know they miss you at Moody ISD, but we're so pleased to have you here at
Well,
Alta Vista.
Thank you. I have great friends at Moody, and it's a great school district, but I have really found a home here, I think, and really love being at Alta Vista.
Great. Joe Spark, a third grade teacher here at Alta Vista Elementary, where there are learners today, leaders tomorrow.